at JustPay or any other company, dealing with the tech team, or rather, understanding what their want is, their requirement is. It's very, very critical that how you lead a tech team, right? And there are, I, it's a very question that you can't answer it in a very. There's no right answers to it, but there are certain principles that you can definitely follow, right, to make sure that whatever you do is basically useful, right? So as a product manager, your job is to ship out products, right? And to ship out products, you have to have, two things very important. One is the product solution that you're thinking of. Second is obviously getting it developed, right? And the development is done by the tech team, right? So obviously, when you give a requirement to a tech team, the requirement has to be crystal clear. By crystal clear, what I mean is you have to be very, very clear, very, very specific in what is required, what is to be built, and how it is to be built. The edge cases are to be covered by the product managers. I understand there are edge cases which might not be covered. There are certain edge cases that will be covered by the tech folks. But as a product guy, you have to give a product documentation which covers your thoughts that you are trying to cover in a product, and it should be so clear. By what I mean is, by that what I mean is, you are not speaking to yourself in the document, you're speaking to a third person, right? So you have to write the document in such a fashion that you're explaining the document to somebody. So if somebody reads the document, they're able to understand what is going on in your mind, what you're trying to say about the product, right? If somebody's not able to get that from the document, then I don't think you've lost that battle. So that's the first very important thing. You have to be very crystal clear, and your product documentation has to come out with your thoughts. Anybody who reads it should understand what you want to build, and they're able to build basis that, right? Second and the most important point is your discussions that you have with the tech team and how you plan things out, right? So now you've built that product documentation, they've gone through the documentation, now they'll come to you with questions. So those discussions that you have with them, you try to solve, understand their problems, and you try to solve their problems by giving them answers, right? So those answers that you give them, the discussions that they have will tell you how much they've understood the product they're trying to build. And you have to be very clear on that, what you're trying to build, and are they understanding in that direction or not, right? So the discussions have to be very, very clear. And with those discussions comes out your Jira planning, your sprint planning. After your product documentation is done, your discussions are done, you have to plan for your sprint, right? Let's say there's a fortnightly sprint or a monthly sprint. So you have to plan the sprint, you have to discuss and you break down the tasks and align it to the respective developers so that they're able to do it in that particular timeline, right? So, and if you're not able to manage it, then there'll be backlogs. So the second aspect of Jira planning is your backlog management. So there are certain backlogs that you have to finish in the next month, next sprint cycle maybe. So you have to take it up in that fashion so the next sprint cycle does not have too many tasks. So Jira sprint planning and your backlog management is also very, very critical when you are looking to lead a tech team.